guys, I'm Liz.
And I'm Bridget.
And we're the Twinchesters.
And this is our Once Upon a Time review for our Once Upon a SuperWho segment.
So this is our review for Once Upon a Time Season 5, Episode 4, called Broken Kingdom. And we get a whole lot of backstory from Camelot this episode.
And even before Camelot, we get the backstory of Camelot.
Right, yep.
And when Arthur starts, how Arthur hears about the prophecy.
Through the tree.
Okay, so Merlin was always a tree.
Right. So we still don't know how Merlin got in the tree.
Merlin's a tree.
Yeah, he's just a tree.
And it starts with, Arthur telling baby Guinevere that, he's going to be king and all that. And then
and then it flashes forward
to 5 years before the Charmings and Storybrooke end up in Camelot.
Yeah. So we see that Arthur is absolutely crazed and obsessed with trying to find the dagger to complete Excalibur.
Oh God, he's insane.
He loses it. He feels like he can't be a true king until he has the full sword. He doesn't think people will respect him until he has it. And
Guinevere's not happy about that.
No, Guinevere feels that she's lost the man that she loved, because Arthur is he's gone off the deep end and he can't focus on anything else. And he thinks that he's cracked the code to the dagger's location, so he goes off, and Guinevere realizes that he's not going to the right place.
Yeah.
So she breaks into Merlin's tower and gets this magical gauntlet that leads you to a person's greatest weakness. And unfortunately, Arthur's greatest weakness is the dagger. So she tries to sneak away to go find it
with Lancelot.
Well, Lancelot catches her and he's like, I'm not letting you go alone, we're going to go together. So of course
she feels like if she finds the dagger, she'll have her husband back.
Right, so
to his full self.
So for Arthur, the quest for the dagger is so he can be a full king, and for Guinevere, the quest for the dagger is just simply so she can have her husband back.
Yeah.
That's really all she wants.
The gauntlet leads them to the Dark One's vault.
Yes.
Which is kind of like a sewer pipe in the ground.
Yeah, that's basically what it looks like. It's got this magical inscription on it, and of course, they're able to crack the code because Arthur had it. He just did not go to the right spot at all. So they get down there, and of course it's booby trapped. There's all these different things set up to stop intruders.
Rumble wasn't stupid.
No, he was crazy smart. So the darkness comes and attacks Lancelot, and Guinevere stops it.
In that moment, she loved Lancelot.
In that moment, she realized that she's come to fall for Lancelot. Tying in that whole legend of them having an affair. And, she says, she's like, that can never happen again.
Oh, she kisses him.
Yeah, she kisses Lancelot after she saves him, kind of in a moment of passion. And she's like, that can never happen again. So lo and behold, they get there, they find the dagger, and of course it's protected by a spell, and then
Rumple pops
up pops Rumple.
Poof, look at me! And he's back in the crocodile makeup.
Yeah, I love that he's in that. I feel like he's just so badass as Crocodile Rumple.
He's definitely more interesting.
Yes. But anyway, trying to stay on topic. Basically, they make a deal where Guinevere gives him the gauntlet, and he gives them sands from the island of Avalon, which is this really magical place in the legend.
What I didn't catch on right away is that the sands are supposed to repair things that are broken, fix things that are broken.
Right.
I must have missed it or something, so I didn't notice it at first until she went back to give it to to help
fix Excalibur.
Fix Excalibur. I was like, oh, that's what she's going to use that for. I thought it was just kind of a cloaking thing to make it look like Excalibur was whole again.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was we'll make it look like it until for the time being,
Okay.
You'll never know the difference.
Well, I guess it kind of...
technically it did that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just more of a fake cloaking spell. I didn't realize it was fixing things that were broken. That's the specific use for the sands.
Yeah, it's more of a physical thing than a cloaking.
Yeah.
So they make the deal. Guinevere goes back and parts ways with Lancelot.
And she tells Arthur everything.
Arthur is in a crazed fever, and she's going to trick him and pour the sand on Excalibur, but she realizes that he's so far gone that, you know, it's not even worth it for her
and she just tells her
anymore.
everything that her and Lancelot went through with the Dark One and the sands and all that. And
Yes.
he decides to flip it around, and he was like, well, if I can't have you and my kingdom, I'm going to manipulate you so I can keep you and still keep my kingdom.
Right.
And he uses the sands on her.
Fixing her broken heart.
Yeah.
And she
So she will always love him.
Right.
So she will never leave him.
And then
which is a messed up move.
Yes. It's
Like, did Arthur really love Guinevere? That's something you do to somebody that you actually love.
I think in the beginning he loved her, but now it's like he's trying so hard just to have the perfect kingdom, you know, the perfect castle, the perfect wife, the most powerful sword in all the realms. Like, and if Guinevere leaves, that's taken out of the equation, so he doesn't see it as a perfect kingdom anymore. That's what he's focused on now because he's just so out of his mind with, you know, just his obsession with achieving that. And so then, you know, like Richard said, he uses the sands on Guinevere, and then he uses the sands to build Camelot into a kingdom.
I was wondering where that castle came from. It was just like a little village.
Yeah, because in the beginning,
5 years later, they're like, look, we got a kingdom now.
Yeah, so everything basically from Arthur is an illusion. It's a lie.
All of it's an illusion.
And he's just been manipulating everybody around him.
And then they flash forward to 5 years later, which is when Storybrooke is in Camelot.
Yes.
And David and Snow are having a moment. They're arguing about whether to trust Arthur. Because David truly wants to trust Arthur.
Yes, and Snow thinks it's a selfish reason just for him to be able to feel important, and David's like, no, that's, you know.
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. David's probably like, I'm going to be the hero again. I'm part of the round table. Look at me, you know.
Yeah, that was definitely, like, poor David. Like, he kind of felt like he was in the side.
But, like, I was shocked when the next scene is David telling Arthur everything.
Oh, I know. I was like, David, what are you doing?
I was like, no. You know, you never go against your wife. What are you doing? It was insane.
Yep.
He tells Arthur absolutely everything. That Emma being the Dark One, you know, that they have the dagger.
Lancelot's still alive.
And it's just like nuts. And he brings the dagger with him to give
to give to Arthur.
And but it's not there.
When they open the case that it's in, it's gone, and it flashes to Snow getting Lancelot so they can go to the Dark One's vault
to hide the real dagger. So they're working on separate pages, and I think Snow knew. You think at the time Snow knows that David's gonna, you know, betray her, so she goes off like that. That's what they're implying.
Mm-hmm.
That they're like, okay, they're working separately.
Yeah, it's the first time where they're not actually working as a team.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, Arthur follows them because he knows this is gonna happen. Then another plot twist. They were working together. David and Snow plan this entire thing. David comes up from behind, captures Arthur. Mm-hmm. They give him, backtrack a little bit.
They gave him a fake dagger. The whole time it was a fake dagger.
Yeah, the whole time the dagger that Snow had was a fake dagger. And he tries to summon Emma with it. And she's like, I love when Snow's like, did you really think she was gonna come for you? Like, it was just so funny and so, like, sassy. I was like, you go, Snow, you tell him.
I appreciate sass.
And then they bring David back to the diner for some reason.
They all go back to the diner.
Because I guess that's like their meeting place. They really don't have a place right now. They don't want to go back to Camelot because they have the king.
But plot twist again, in walks Guinevere, and they're there, and she's there to rescue Arthur. And
Lancelot doesn't know that Guinevere was below the sand thing. He doesn't know
he doesn't know that Guinevere is under the spell of the sands of Avalon. So when she walks in and sides with Arthur, like, he's just devastated. And they wind up putting him in the dungeon, you know, just so he's out of the way now. And they use the last bit of the sands on Snow and Charming. So they forget that Arthur has betrayed them.
They fix it. Like, their whole...
I want to backtrack a little bit because one really funny part to me was when David shows up behind Arthur and he turns around and he's like, "You betrayed me." And I'm like, dude, you've been lying to everybody this whole time and you're going to complain that one person betrayed you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody's.
Well, he made it seem like Lancelot betrayed him. Like, Lancelot really was the reason that all of this was happening.
Right.
And it really was all his fault.
Yeah.
But when they throw Lancelot into the dungeon, they throw him in like one of the worst dungeons, and you hear this little Scottish voice in the distance. "Oh, so you're in the worst dungeon. What did you do?"
And it's Merida!
So somehow she gets captured by Camelot and King Arthur.
Yes.
And
we don't know what happened. She's there. She's like, any enemy of Arthur is a friend of mine.
Yeah, so something with her and Arthur went down.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. And while all this is happening, we got a cute little moment with Emma and Huck.
Yes.
He takes her horseback riding, and they find out about Henry's little, crush.
Yeah.
And I love when Emma's like, she's like, he lied to my face, and Coco's like, "You're his mother." And she's like, "I'm also the dark one." He goes, "I don't know if that's really a difference to him."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's worse to him, the fact that you're his mother or the fact that you're the dark one.
Yeah. So either way, poor Henry. He can't win that one.
Hook's trying to help her, get rid of the rumple that she has in her mind by taking her horseback riding and relaxing her. And he's always gonna fight for them, and it's just so cute. And they get to a field, and they're having like a good connection. And Rumple's not there anymore.
It's just really nice. It's like the first time where they're able to just be Hook and Emma.
Yeah, but that's probably the only time they're alone. It's like one of the only times they've ever been alone the entire time.
That's what she said. She's like, now that we're alone, and then just like cue make out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's the only time they've been alone since they've practically been a couple, and that date that they went on way back when.
Yeah, which really didn't end so well, if I remember correctly.
Right, so we have to flash forward to what's happening
now in Storybrooke. So, sorry. It's okay. So Emma has Rumple, and she's trying to turn him into the perfect hero, and she knows that he's a coward. So in order to do that, she needs to make him brave. And who do we have? Merida.
Somehow she captures Merida from the dungeons and brings her with her to Storybrooke, attached to the beetle.
Just why
not? I don't know why she's attached to the beetle.
Yeah,
it's pretty much just one storyline this episode. Normally we have, like at least a Camelot flashback and something happening in now.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward, just all in Camelot up until the last few minutes, or maybe only like the last minute.
Yeah.
And we see present day Emma with Rumple and then Merida.
That's pretty much it, yeah. So next episode's probably going to be more about modern day. They gave all the backstory of what happened in Camelot. We're pretty much determining what happened in Camelot. We're very close to figuring out what happened in Camelot.
Yes, and
because obviously the sands of Avalon affecting Snow and David
is going to be
100% is the reason why
issue,
that Emma's now the Dark One, because there's no way they would have let Emma turn to the Dark One if they weren't under.
Right. Well, Robin and Regina kind of know that something's off,
so it's pretty much up to them now
to fix it.
Yeah, but apparently it doesn't get fixed, so something happens.
Well, we're just one step closer to answers.
Really hope it doesn't take all season for us to figure this out.
I think it's only going to be a half. Like, I think this arc it's just going to be the first half. All right, guys. So that's our take on the episode, and we'd love to hear what you think. So don't forget to click like and comment and subscribe.
Hopefully give us what you guys think is going to happen in the next episode. We would love to hear your guys' fan theories and what you guys think is going to happen with everybody else. And all right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.